My son put his hands on a woman, and I couldn't be prouder of how I raised him. I almost ignored the call. Then I saw it was from my son's school. Mrs. Brooks, I'm calling about Ryan. The dean's voice was ice cold, each word carefully measured like she was trying not to scream. There's been an incident. He struck a female student in his dorm room this afternoon. My stomach dropped. This had to be a mistake. That's not possible. Ryan doesn't. She cut me off. The girl has visible injuries. Campus police are here and they're considering assault charges. You need to come immediately. I've also contacted the young woman's mother. I was already halfway to my car before my brain caught up. Ryan had earned a full engineering scholarship through years of grinding, perfect grades, zero trouble. Now I had 3 hours of driving to figure out how this made any sense. When I arrived at the administration building at 6:30 p.m., I found Ryan sitting outside the dean's office with 2 campus police officers standing nearby. His face was pale and his hands trembled in his lap. Through the window of another office, I could see the girl, Sophia, surrounded by her friends who were taking photos and posting on social media. Her cheek showed a red mark, and she was crying dramatically for her growing audience. Ryan, what happened? I whispered, sitting beside him while the officers watched. Mom, I hit her. I slapped her. His voice cracked and he couldn't meet my eyes. Everyone saw her run out of my room crying with that mark on her face. Her friends are calling me a woman beater and the whole campus knows already. Dean Whitfield emerged from her office with another security officer. Mrs. Brooks, the facts seem clear. Multiple witnesses saw Sophia run from Ryan's room in distress with visible injury. She says they had an argument and he struck her. We have zero tolerance for domestic violence on this campus. The senior officer added grimly, the girl's friends are already organizing a protest. They want him expelled immediately. We've had to post extra security at his dorm. I looked at my son, who still hadn't made eye contact with me once since I'd arrived. Ryan, tell me exactly what happened. He shook his head slowly. It doesn't matter what really happened. I hit her and that's all anyone cares about. No, I said firmly, feeling something wasn't right. Tell me everything. Ryan finally looked up and there was something in his eyes I'd never seen before. Pure terror mixed with shame. I was taking a nap, Mom. I told her I wasn't in the mood for anything earlier and said I needed to sleep before my evening lab. I woke up to find she had pulled down my blankets and was doing things to me without my consent. The security officers shifted uncomfortably. Dean Whitfield's confident expression began to falter as she processed this information. When I woke up to her touching me like that, I just reacted. It was like I was 8 years old again, back in that house with Grandpa. His voice broke completely. My body moved on its own. I slapped her and she fell off the bed. I felt my blood run cold. I knew about those weekends at his grandfather's house, the trauma he'd never fully discussed, but that had shaped so much of his life. I turned to the dean. My son was sexually assaulted. He defended himself. That's quite an accusation to make, the dean said carefully, but doubt had crept into her voice. Just then, the door opened and a woman in her 50s entered looking exhausted and defeated. Dean Whitfield, I'm Patricia, Sophia's mother. You called me? The dean nodded. Yes. Please have a seat. Patricia looked at Ryan and her face crumbled. Which trauma was it? Car accident? Abuse? Let me guess. Something from childhood? Everyone in the room froze. How did you? The dean started. Because my daughter has a fetish for men who've been sexually assaulted, Patricia said flatly. She seeks them out specifically. She gets into their friend groups, finds out their histories, and then she does this. We're still dealing with lawsuits from the last incident at her previous school. She looked directly at Ryan with tears streaming down her face. I'm a counselor at a rape crisis center. I work with abuse victims every single day, and I can't even help my own daughter. She finds out about their trauma and she recreates it. It's sick, and I've tried everything to stop her. Therapy, medication, switching schools. The irony isn't lost on me that I spend my days helping survivors while my daughter creates more of them. Dean Whitfield was speechless. The senior officer had stopped writing entirely and just stared. She knows they won't be believed, Sophia's mother continued through her tears. She knows they'll freeze up and blame themselves. She counts on their shame keeping them silent. Sophia entered with her friends, still playing victim until she saw her mother sitting there. Her face went white. Mom, why are you here? Because you did it again. Her mother's voice was ice cold. The lawyers warned us after Anthony. I told the dean everything. Sophia tried to back away, but the officers blocked the door. Miss, we need to take your statement now. Mom, he hit me. Sophia's voice cracked with desperation. Good, her mother said flatly. Someone finally did. Everyone's mouths fell open. Someone even let out a small chuckle from the back of the room before catching themselves. Ryan was cleared of all charges and returned to his dorm that night, while Sophia was arrested and led out in handcuffs as her friends watched in stunned silence.